Our robotic host overlords have blessed us with the Season 4 trailer of Westworld, and if you've been following my channel for a while, you know I've been a big fan of the show, so let's not waste any of your time and see what clues we can gather from this all-new season. Our first shot is of this sprawling western vista. Either we're in Westworld or perhaps some post-apocalyptic wasteland. You can make out a car on the left-hand side barreling towards something in the center. It's a bit too blurry to make out, but our next shot is of Maeve walking down a paved road, so likely not Westworld. And I get a total Linda Hamilton and Terminator vibe here. Since season 1, Maeve has been on a quest to reunite with her daughter, who is currently in the Sublime, a kind of heaven for hosts. So much of her storyline this season will likely revolve around that. And here's Caleb seemingly back to his old mundane job. Something you'll notice is that this world seems totally fine, not the world on the edge of chaos we left him in at the end of season 3. Some time has also passed, as evidenced by his beard, and if you look really closely, you'll even notice he has what appears to be a wedding ring. The creators of Westworld have said they like to approach each season with something fresh, so it's entirely possible that the Caleb we're seeing here is actually stuck in a simulation and he's totally oblivious to it. He could also be in a park run by hosts. This is easy to miss, but listen to the words of the song that plays in the background here.
Drink sangria in the park.
Drink sangria in the park. He's drinking and he may also be in a Delos-style park. This would be pretty cool, as it would be a complete 180 from season 1. Instead of humans coming to Westworld and fucking around with the oblivious hosts, here it's the hosts who control the oblivious humans. It could also be possible that the uprising at the end of season 3 was quelled and he's just keeping a low profile, although that doesn't seem as interesting. Here we get our first shot of Dolores in front of this somewhat creepy building. It's pretty cool that she's dropped off in a white autonomous vehicle. She once got around Westworld riding a white horse. A reflection of William here, a metaphor for the reflection of the man he once was. At the end of season 3, it looks as though the real William is killed and replaced with a host copy. This copy was only given that super violent data Delos collected of William when he visited the park, so this is a William you don't want to mess with. Hey, and look who it is, Stubbs, who we last saw bleeding in a motel bathtub. So just how did he get from there to here? And how come he didn't come back for Bernard, who we saw covered in dust in some post-apocalyptic future at the end of season 3? This all supports the theory that we're either in a simulation or some park where humans are the ones held captive. Stubbs seems to notice William here, and look at that, William has a fully fleshed out hand. Remember, the real William had his cut off. And it may just be me, but it looks like everyone here is either wearing black or white. Dolores emerges from what could be a train or subway station, and you can make out these excited men saying, "Can you fucking believe this? This is his first time." It's almost as if they're getting ready to go to one of the Westworld parks. You'll notice Dolores is also sporting some new brown hair, suggesting that this is some sort of different Dolores. Remember, at the end of season 3, her entire memory was wiped, so we aren't quite sure what she's up to. She does, however, have that same earpiece she used to communicate with in season 3. Now, I couldn't really tell what this thing was, but to me, I think it could either be a film roll or shotgun shell. Dolores here alongside season 4 newcomer Ariana DeBose, her role is currently a secret. It looks as though Dolores is seeing someone she might remember, but considering this shot is preceded by that rolling object, it gave me season 1 vibes of when Teddy or William would pick up that rolling soup can and give it to her. And here's a gramophone, a Victor talking machine to be exact, which were made from 1901 to 1929. It looks like Maeve and Caleb are getting ready to enter a new park, one set in the 1920s. We'll even see one of those orientation rooms where one can pick out period-appropriate clothing and weapons. This coincides with a shot of a gangster using a Tommy gun to shoot down a police officer. Maybe this is this world's version of Hector robbing the Mariposa. Here we get a better shot of William and his repaired hand. We can't be certain where he is, but it kind of looks like the underground of the Delos facility where old units are stored away. Here's Bernard in the Sublime looking at Dolores' white horse. We also get to see Dolores' tree, one which she regularly frequented in Westworld, and it goes up in flames. This isn't some optimistic foreshadowing. Here's a bunch of people learning how to dance, mimicking how the hosts were trained to dance in Westworld when Arnold and Ford first started testing them. William can be seen here in the crowd meeting Charlotte Hale, who you may recall wants to destroy humanity and at the end of season 3 was creating hundreds of hosts in the basement of the Delos Labs in Dubai. It looks like she's telling William to be quiet as to not interrupt their dance practice, and you'll notice her arm still carries the burn scars. She wanted to keep these scars as a reminder of what humanity did to her. Not exactly sure who this poor soul is, but it looks as though Clementine is in control here. Now we get Bernard and an unknown companion in the deserted Mesa hub. It looks like it could be around the same time as the season 2 post-credit scene featuring William. Notice how Bernard here is bald. It's different than when he was in the Sublime, but the same as when we saw him in the motel. If this takes place around the same time as those post-credit scenes in season 2, then this is the farthest in the future the show has gone, according to the showrunners. Here, Charlotte invites William to the top of that building we see near the end of the trailer. You can see it has the same cheese string type architecture. This appears to be her headquarters. Just like Westworld had a virtual map in the middle of the control room, it appears that Charlotte has one here of the surrounding city, which once again hints that she is either running a park or some sort of simulation. This guy isn't getting the greatest Delos Park experience considering the amount of flies around. He's in the pre-park fitting area where a swarm of flies have somehow been set loose. Now this is cool. It looks like William is creating a copy of himself in a new type of device, or this could actually be the real William who is cryogenically frozen just like Sirach's brother in season 3. Dolores underwater, nothing really to mention here, and what appears to be the Westworld steam train, however it looks extremely dirty. It's not looking good for Caleb here, who's being hunted down by a drone host, and here we have William being brought into Charlotte's tower with these red riot robots standing guard. It looks like Charlotte has succeeded in whatever she has taken over. This freaky image is of a robot spewing flies, and maybe that's where these guys came from. Could be an early version of Maeve's daughter, judging by the inside mechanics matching the older models. Perhaps this robot is used as some sort of Trojan horse to unleash these flies, but we're not quite sure yet what the purpose of this is. Here's William shooting who appears to be Lawrence. If I recall, Lawrence had one of Dolores's 5 pearls inside him and was responsible for helping Bernard acquire the device, allowing him to access the Sublime. So it would make sense that this William, under the orders of Charlotte, would want Lawrence dead. We're not quite sure if we're in Westworld here because notice the pretty modern gun Lawrence is holding. This vehicle may also be the same one found in that wide shot at the very beginning. I couldn't quite make out this character, but it seems whoever it is either killing this animal on the ground or perhaps performing a C-section, which might make more sense considering the next shot is of another birth of sorts. Now there's something about this that just feels a little off to me. Is this machine making a host or a human? In the background you'll notice 2 chairs sitting across from one another, just like how the programmers at the parks would sit across from hosts and ask them various questions when they first came online. Poor Bernard can't seem to catch a break, and this guy here has one of those flies go right into his eye. Caleb here in 1920s clothing, all bloodied up. I think it's safe to say Delos won't be getting a good Yelp review. I couldn't make out who this is, but it appears to be someone holding a bunch of ash. Here we have another close-up of eyes, perhaps Dolores's, since you can make out the reflection of her tree and what appears to be a house with a small chimney. The final shot is of the cheese string tower, and there are a few interesting things here. These boxes below look like they could be homes for the workers, as seen in this shot, and check out this really long bridge connecting the tower complex to the island. It might be a railway in which people can access whatever fucked up human park Charlotte has created on the other side. Whatever this season has in store, I'm totally excited for it, and I hope you'll stick around and subscribe because I'm hoping to cover the entire thing. Thanks for watching everyone, make sure to like and leave a comment on what you think will happen in season 4. For more bad takes, you can always follow me on Twitter and Instagram at ThinkStoryYT. Until next time, remember...
Which is how I know I'm not the only one who can lay a trap.